the way you can get it in these corners if you want to. For example, close all your jets. Say you want to put it in the left back corner. Close all your jets, leave it, and just open your left back jet, and then put the shovel in there to deflect it into that corner. If that corner's dead and you want to pack it, just open the one jet and deflect it into that corner with a shovel. The beauty of the Berkeley Stoker was that you could close. You got 4 jets on a Berkeley. You don't have fine coal. You could close 2 or even 3 of them. Just fire it on one jet. If you bugger the fire up on one side and you want it to burn away, you can just fire it on one jet and you could watch it. Once that side's burned away, then you can open it again. So sometimes I do the same with a HD Stoker, but you can get into trouble quicker. If you close down too many jets with a HD, you can get into trouble quicker. But probably not with this sort of coal. So then we come to if this is your Stoker table. If it starts making mounds, if you fired it wrong and you got mounds forming, that's when we used to open the fine coal. Then we would use the fine coal to blow it over. But that was the only time we would ever open the fine coal. And then the other option, for example, if this is the plan view, if you get a huge mound of coal there for some reason, close your left front until that burns down. But be very careful then not to lose your steam pressure while that's burning down. You could
what about
you see the principle. If you've got a mound of coal there, it's becoming uneven. Close that jet to stop firing that area until such time as it's burnt down before you open that jet again.
Peter, where you're showing RB up there, where you've got RB, right about that spot, and on the opposite side, on the 2 sheets, actually a little further forward, it's about 2/3. There is where we have a recurring hole problem.
Recurring?
Yeah. Mostly more the right side, but it's on the left too.
What's happening? You're not
We're
getting coal.
ending up with a hole there.
No, we get coal, but it also goes through the grates.
And it
right
just
there,
drops
too.
through the grates there.
Yeah, it goes through the grates a little bit there.
But do you think you're getting enough coal there to keep it covered? Or
Well, that's why I'm wondering, where do you think we're
so
hitting
thin it's
with
just
that rear
folds
to that point, or is that coming off the front jet?
You're about there.
Yeah.
You're not getting enough.
both sides.
But we're getting plenty beyond it and plenty ahead of it.
Yep. There's like a line about 3/4 of the way across. That's what I was talking last time when we were opening the fines.
So you've got to keep helping it with a shovel, haven't you?
Well, that's where we found the fines that seem to fill that spot for us.
It probably would do, yeah. Probably would do.
When we tried firing without the fines, we ended up with holes in the middle as well. It didn't-
Right, it went all the way. It went all the way
It left
across.
the- Yeah, it left the right fronts.
Maybe
did
it's just
not
the way
cover
the edge of
middle.
drafts.
Yeah.
Because we could take that pile, if we shut the fines off, and then it'd pile about 1.5 feet in front of the table, and then as we turn the fines on, we could actually move that pile up through the box until we got to that about 3/4 spot, and then that's where we need the coal, and that's where the fines.
Here in this area, you were getting the fine coal was giving you a pile in this area.
Yep.
Correct.
And as you made the fine coal,
And if you turn it up more, the pile
then
would
the
just move
pile would
ahead.
go there. And if you turned up more, the pile would go there.
Yeah.
Probably.
Until we got to that about 3/4 of the way up, or maybe 7/8 up in the box where we needed that coal, and that's where the fines, it seemed to drop it in there.
And if you close the fine
You
coal,
were saying that was good. That was
Yeah,
good.
then that
it
was
was.
good.
You
Yeah,
finally got it to where you
yeah, but I
wanted
mean, we got the fines way up to get it there.
We were
Yeah.
never
and then
able
you
to-
got it. You got it up. You got it in the end.
Fine,
You got it underneath the brick arch, right at the front, by
Oh,
the
yeah.
tube plate.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Well, that's where you want it, as long as it doesn't get too high there.
right.
So in other words, you weren't blowing it hard enough.
Correct. That's where I think your higher pressure gives more velocity, and we need the fines to run at that lower pressure to get enough velocity to throw that
After
stuff
what
back there.
you said last night, another thing occurred to me. Sometimes we get a pile in the middle there, and it's a back jet. It's blowing it down, bouncing off. Blowing down, bouncing off.
Great billiards.
Yeah, all right. Now we're shooting pool.
No, we're
all
shooting
right.
pool, right.
Well, I guess, yeah.
I'd forgotten that. That's another thing I forgot.
We,
That's
That can see that.
I've seen that happen. You can't figure out why you're getting a pile in the middle, and you close the back jets, and then it burns away, and you realise it's the back jet's been doing it. The
So
only
you
other,
don't attribute any of that to the.
The only other thing I-
rates?
the only other thing I want to show you is that when we left Iowa City last year, I could see, as you were watching me, I could see that the back corners and the middle were doing fine, but there's so much flame in the front I couldn't see what was happening at the front. It was only when we stopped it for that restriction and it burned through, I could see that the front was also good. But once you got your fire flat and everywhere's burning how you want it, then you just watch your chimney. You don't even look in there. You fire it by the chimney. We had one fireman going up the long banks about 20 miles up with thrashing these 484s, and he used to take his hat and hang it over the pressure gauge, and all he could see was the water in the chimney. And when we got to the top of the bank, he'd take his hat off the pressure gauge, and it'd be sitting there exactly on the red mark. So if you're looking from the fireman side, that's your chimney. If your smoke is coming out like that and it's all black, that's not what you want. If you see the smoke starts coming out in a V, you're heading in the right direction. And when it's right, don't ask me how it works, but when it's right, your smoke will come out in like that. It'll come out, the better the fire is, the more of a V it will give you. So you aim for it to be coming out like that, and this will be slightly darker, and that will be slightly darker, and in the middle it will be clear. And you can, if that's your smoke's coming out of that, your fire's right. If it's darker on that side than it is on that side, you're getting more coal on that side than that side, and vice versa. Don't ask me how that works.
And that was with any engine? Any of the engines like 100 different engines?
Yeah.
And you noticed that with our...
I noticed that straight away. As soon as last year, as soon as I seen my fire was right and I looked at the chimney, then it reminded me something I hadn't seen for 10 years. My smoke's coming out, my smoke's coming into a V. Don't ask me how that
And
works.
once you pointed it out, we could see
Yeah,
it
we
too.
could see it.
Well, I've seen it that way too,
once
when it's
we
right.
start splitting the stack a little bit.
Well, that's a good point to know, because then I can watch that too. You're heavy on the left, you're heavy on the right.
Great.
That's all I can
Well,
do.
you wouldn't blow that whistle so much I could see it.
Hey,
But
you
the
got
other
smoke
thing
in the middle of the stack, you're putting too much coal in.
The other thing is,
I got too much whistle in my stack. I can't see it.
he's over there blowing a whistle and he can't see the frickin' stack.
That's all I can tell you.
All right, Peter, I missed the part where you prepare the fire before you leave. What did you say for that?
You better come for the night session.
I can't, I gotta get my rest.
You missed the part, I don't know where it was.
I missed all of it. Start over.
He missed the part
That's why I got this here. I'll hand it to him and set him up.
I want the video, I'll give you a discount on the video.
1995.
I'm sorry, I had to take care of the company business cards, okay?
There wasn't too much different than what we're already doing. The one thing you said about using the Stoker only at full pressure,
Hell, that's right.
I didn't get the reason for that. The very beginning.
Not using full
You
pressure.
didn't want to.
Unless you have full pressure.
Yeah,
But the only difference, these Stokers have safety valves in the steam line.
Yeah, I think we got.
There's a safety valve.
Stokers,
The Stoker
You
motor,
said running the motor when we had low pressure, when we weren't at full pressure, could break the linkage. Why will that break the linkage at such a slow or a low pressure?
oh, when you're raising
When you're
steam.
raising steam, right?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
but yours
No.
broke, huh?
I'm not an engineer.
Cause see the,
I have seen them break.
see the Chinese Stokers have got a safety valve in the steam line. And they're
For the Stoker motor.
for the Stoker motor, so that you can't overpressure the Stoker. They had trouble with the Stoker linkage
Find out.
breaking, that especially at the U. There's a double U joint in there, and that's the weak point in the Stoker linkage. So the Chinese, on their Stokers, there's a safety valve underneath the cab floor. You can see it blowing once in a while. Now originally they were only set for like 4 bars. And I set them up when we were having so much Stoker problems and sticking the Stokers all the time. So now that the Stokers are working better, we might want to set it. I might want to set it back down
No,
because it goes off now at about 80 or 90, doesn't it?
we never run it that high. This
Yeah, you
Stoker-
could, yeah.
Barely got
I had
the
to
same
jam
cracks.
up. I had 7081 when we left Iowa City going to Rock Island. I had the Stoker jam up on me, and I turned her down and it hit the safety valve.
Yeah,
And I had to throw it in reverse and back the Stoker up about I don't know.
But I said
2
the same-
turns
Oh
and
yeah,
kick
I
back in.
now that's what I know you're talking after. I've heard on the 25 NCs if you open it too much and you like it's
Yeah, they have
safety
it.
valve, yeah.
and the other thing about this Stoker that's different from the American HT, it's got a double reduction gearbox. The gearbox is double reduction. There's an idler gear in the
Well,
middle.
open it up if you haven't got full steam. All I know that's what I was told, and I know once under preservation we wanted to get the boiler up quickly, and we opened it when we only about 100 pound steam, and the Stoker broke. That was
Yeah.
a rusted pin at the back there. It wasn't
Yeah.
anything to do with mechanical, so it would have broken eventually anyway.